Hi, students. Welcome to video one. It is on the AP Environmental Science exam. I'm Miss Jones, and I'm your teacher for APES. So the first thing I wanted to show you is the College Board website. It actually contains a lot of information. Of course, my link doesn't work, that you can access and look at. So the PowerPoints for all of these videos are going to be online. So if you're, not able to actually click in the PowerPoint itself, you can find it online. So here's the AP Environmental Science kind of guide about the course, what exactly we're going to do. Our exam date for 2020 is May 11th. So some things, there's practice stuff, there's all the units, anything that you have questions about for the course, you can find it at the College Board website. So we're going to talk a little bit about the exam, starting with the year 2020. Things are a little bit different. So there used to be 100 questions. Now you guys are going to have 80. Yay, it's a lot less. You still have 90 minutes to take it, and it's 60% of your exam is going to be the multiple choice. There's going to be questions that actually you have to read text and answer those texts, 5 questions on that skill. And there's only going to be 4 options where there used to be 5. So you have a little bit greater possibility of getting the questions right. But the questions are going to be much more analysis of data and graphs and models, which we will practice all throughout this course. The second part is your free response, your FRQs. There's going to be 3 questions this year instead of 4. You're going to have 70 minutes, and that's 40% of your exam score. Question 1 is going to ask you to design and analyze an investigation, so setting up independent and dependent variables, all that sort of stuff. Question 2 asks you to analyze a problem and propose some sort of solutions to the problem using models and representations. And question 3 will ask you to analyze an environmental issue and propose a solution using math. So to talk about the math, in the past, you have not been allowed to use calculators. This is the first year that we will be allowed. Yay. So don't be too crazy about the math. 50% of the points are going to be earned by doing math calculations. So that means that the other 50% are still going to be basic questions where you don't have to know how to do any math. For the math questions, you do have to show your work, or they're going to assume that you cheated. So please make sure you include work. You also have to have your units. And again, don't give up if you think you can't do math, even with a calculator. Read the rest of the questions. They'll ask you things like explain and discuss. It doesn't really matter if you are able to do the math or not. You can still get half of that question right. So when we look at your scoring, you don't get penalized for guessing. So choose an answer for all of them. Even if they get ready to call time, you have 5 minutes left and you're on question 50 of 80. Just go through and Christmas tree it. Take a guess. Here's an actual rubric where you can go through and see the scoring guidelines. Now, I do want to let you know this is going to be an old scoring guideline. They have not given us one yet for the updated exam. So whenever they do provide us with that, I will let you know. For the question types, there are going to be about 10%. So that means about 10 questions that will say things like, which of the following is not, or which is the least, or all of the following except. We will practice this a lot in class, so hopefully you will be used to that. The other thing to think about is there's not always just one right answer. There might be 2 or 3 question or answers that are technically right, but there's going to be one that is the most right. And usually it's pretty obvious which of the 2 or 3 seems to be more right. But again, that's the kind of analysis, critical thinking part of the class. So the FRQs, you can see every single FRQ that has ever been given at this website right here. You can click on it and it will take you to every single year and it will have all 4 FRQs. Again, ours this year only has 3. We will do a lot of practice FRQs. I'll give them to you on tests. We'll do them in class. We'll do them in labs. You will get plenty of practice on the FRQs and hopefully feel more than ready for the test in May. In terms of what the numbers mean, if you get a 3 or better, you pass. If you get a 1 or a 2, you have failed. However, the colleges are a little bit different. So I do want you to go to this website. Of course, does not work. And you want to put in the college that you want to go to or that you've thought about maybe going to, because it's all dependent on that. So here is, let's see, we want to select the course. We are AP Environmental Science. There we go. And once you've selected your course, you will see all the different colleges. I'm going to search for, where do I search? Doo-doo-doo. So I'm going to search for, I'm just going to say Duke. Okay, so here's Duke University. If you want to go to Duke, you have to get a 4 on the AP exam in order for it to be counted for credit at Duke University. Now, if you're not an overachiever and you want to go to North Carolina, let's see if I can spell. So here, for example, if you want to go to the most awesome college that there ever is, North Carolina State, you got to have a 3. So, who cares about Duke? Let's just go to NC State. If you want to go to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, look, you got to have a 4. Okay, so there's another reason to go to NC State. Your 3 will be accepted. So again, you search for your college and you find out kind of what college, what your score needs to be, just to kind of give you an idea of what you need to be shooting for this class. Shoot for a 5. Everywhere will take a 5. So if you're serious about getting a 5, you do need a practice book. Barron's practice book is really awesome. It's about $15. You can even buy them for cheaper on eBay. It kind of looks like this. And the Strive for a 5 is also really awesome. That's about $25. Even for the older books that correspond to the old exam, the questions are still going to be relevant. It's not going to be 100 questions, though. It's going to be 80. So if you get an older practice book, it's not really going to matter that much. I also have some of these Barron's books that I can give out if you want to get a practice book. But, if you're really serious about getting a 5 and you can't afford to get either one of these books, I will buy you one. Especially if it's been updated, or I will give you one that I have. I'm more than happy to do that if you're really serious about passing the AP exam and you think that, you need some practice outside of just what we're going to be doing in class. Okay, so that is the end of the video. Bring your questions tomorrow to class.